Look at those beautiful parrots. Oh my God. This is the beauty of Costa Rica. And I mean, look at this path, dude. Just waking up and walking this. Yes.
Can you tell me what's the problem once people have started an agency?
Like the typical problems people face when they start an agency?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I think the biggest one is imposter syndrome. If you're blessed to already have a career and you have a skill and you're you have a skill, let's say you've been in a job for 5 to 10 years, then you're already so much further ahead of people who want to start an agency who are starting from zero. Like when I was 19, I started from zero. I had no skills whatsoever. And so naturally, I dealt with a lot of imposter syndrome because I was feeling like, well, I don't have a degree. I don't have some certificate on a wall that I earned after 4 years of university, after paying $60,000 to go and learn from some of these professors or whatever. And so I feel like the number one bottleneck and problem and battle and issue that people face in the beginning is imposter syndrome. But even if you have a job and even if you have a solid career and a solid skill set, you can still deal with tremendous imposter syndrome if you've never started your own business. If you've always been sort of like an entrepreneur or somebody who has just been in a company as a successful employee of that company, you can still feel very overwhelmed with starting an agency and starting a business because you've never dealt with running operations, doing your own marketing, doing your own sales calls, running the operations, managing a team if the business scales, dealing with payroll. Like these things can be scary. I remember the first person we hired that had children, and it freaked me out a little bit. I was like, okay, here I am. I'm like 22 years old. We're hiring somebody he had like 5 or 6 kids, and I felt like this is such a big responsibility. This man's quitting his job. There's a lot of fun ants here. This man's quitting his job to join our agency. I'm 22, he's like in his 30s. We can't not pay this man. Like we have to really make sure that our finances are together, that we're growing, that we can afford to hire somebody like this. And so there's a lot of pressures that you can deal with. But ultimately, this comes down to just having faith and having alignment and trusting in your capacity to start a business, start a successful business. And it helps to have a mentor and a guide. And I think that's why, I feel really compelled to be that for people. And that's why I'm here on YouTube. I'm sharing about things that are related to people who want to be financially free, so that they can live the best life they can possibly live, be the happiest, the healthiest, the wealthiest, the most joyful and in love. If you want to have a family, like you're going to need finances. You're going to need money to buy land and have a home. If you want to raise kids, like food needs to get on the table. So money is just such a core piece of the human experience. And the pathway of starting an agency or starting your own business, the pathway of entrepreneurship, is commonly looked down upon because there's so many quotes of people who are saying like, oh my God, 80% of businesses go out of business in 5 years. Or I think it's actually like 90 or 95%. And then it says something like 4% of businesses, or like of the 4% of businesses that survive, they only make $60,000 a year in profit. And so there's all these distortions around how difficult it is to start your own business, how difficult it is to make sure it's successful and thrives after many years. That's why you need a mentor. That's why you need somebody who has walked down the path of business, found success in doing it, built a reputation that is solid. And I'm very blessed to have walked down that path after nearly 10 years of starting and running my own agency with obviously partners and many people and many team members. It wasn't just me, I can't take all the credit, but the power within you to start your own business is there. It's just a matter of trust and faith. And I think that ultimately if you're feeling the call and you want to move through those layers of resistance and those blocks, I highly recommend watching a video that I made called How I Started and Sold My Agency. It sort of walks you through the whole journey of how you can do it too if you feel called. And specifically, I focus a lot on the mindset aspect of this training because it's sort of the foundation of what it takes to build a successful business, no matter what you're doing, even if it's not an agency. So even if you're not interested in starting an agency per se, I still recommend you check out this video because it's all of the incredible mindset stuff that I've learned in the near 10 years of running that business and having exited it and sold it. And so I'll put it somewhere in this video and in the description, and I hope you check it out. And even if you don't, I'm sending you my love. Me and Fabian are recording this here in Costa Rica. We've been recording a bunch of videos together. And it's really beautiful to film here in nature. This is the most nervous system regulating place to film. So yeah, we
Check
love
it out.
you.
We
We
love
love
you.
you. Ciao. That was good.